You're listening there to Anna Marie Baralt, the niece of Jose Menendez, who was the father of Lyle and Erik Menendez. The two brothers were convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the murders of their parents in 1996. They've served 35 years in prison, and now we're seeing this coalition of up to 2 dozen relatives, family members who are speaking at this press conference today, calling for their resentencing and saying it's time for them to be released. Let's bring in our Martha Kellner, who's just outside the court in LA. This is quite extraordinary, actually, Martha, to see this media scrum, to see the attention that this case is getting. It got a lot of attention at the time. And of course, 35 years later, there is still so much fascination in this case as these family members call for their resentencing.
Yes, so much fascination surrounding this case, Yalda. I've rarely seen such a heavy media presence here outside the LA County Courthouse. There are reporters everywhere, and this is really a real-life drama that became a TV drama and is now once again very much a real-life drama. It concerns the story of two brothers, Erik and Lyle Menendez. Back in 1989, their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez, were brutally murdered. Both of them shot multiple times in their very upmarket home in Beverly Hills. The search for their murderers became a story of national fascination on true crime shows, news shows, until one day their sons, 18-year-old Erik at the time, 21-year-old Lyle Menendez, were arrested and charged with their murder. There was then a very high-profile trial which revealed details, testimony and evidence that was almost as shocking, if not as shocking, as the murders themselves. Both Erik and Lyle testified about what they said was years of abuse at the hands of their father, Jose Menendez. They said he was emotionally terrorising them, sexually abusing them too. There was a hung jury in the first trial. The second trial found them guilty of murder, and they've spent 30 years in prison here in Los Angeles. But now there is a Netflix drama surrounding their case, and new evidence, says their lawyer, that's come to light. A letter which apparently was sent by Erik Menendez when he was 17 years old, so before these murders took place, a letter to a cousin which detailed what he said was sexual abuse by his father. He said he lived in fear. The lawyer for the Menendez brothers just telling this crowd here now that he thinks that that is reason enough for a retrial or at least resentencing. They're calling for immediate release of the brothers. There's also additional evidence, according to this lawyer, from a boy band member in the 1980s who said he was also sexually abused by Jose Menendez, who was a high-profile music executive. The lawyer is backed up by numerous family members of the Menendez brothers, all calling for his release. It will be weighed up in the coming days by the district attorney, so the highest legal figure in Los Angeles, who will decide whether to grant a new trial or whether to release Erik and Lyle Menendez from custody.
Martha, thank you so much for keeping across the case for us. We will be joining you again a little later in the programme as you listen to the developments there. As you say, 24 family members now gathered outside the court calling for the retrial or at least the resentencing of these two brothers who were sentenced to life in prison for the murder of their parents.